Hello my dear students, so today I am here with a new topic, that is aggregate demand and aggregate supply. So this aggregate demand and aggregate supply is also one of the basic concept of economics. So in second chapter, whatever the topic, whatever the different headings we are discussing here, all are the basic concepts, and that concept is needed in the other chapters. So here we will start this aggregate demand and aggregate supply. So first you have to understand what is aggregate demand. Okay, so we can say that aggregate demand refers to the total quantity of a commodity that all the consumers are willing to purchase in an economy. What is aggregate demand? The total quantity Okay, so aggregate demand means the total quantity of a commodity or goods that all the households or the individuals are willing to purchase, okay, in an economy. So that concept is called what? Aggregate demand. That means the quantity demanded by me, quantity demanded by you, quantity demanded by others, the quantity demanded by all the individuals in an economy are included there. So that concept is called aggregate demand. Okay, now consumers they demand various types of consumer durable goods, eatable items in an economy. At the same time, we have seen that the business firm, producers, they are also willing to consume, or they are also willing to buy different goods and services for their different economic activities. So when we see that the firms or the producers, they are purchasing various raw materials, okay, for their investment in different economic activity. At the same time, we have seen that the government needs to also purchase various types of goods and services. As we have seen that the government are providing free education. Now, in order to provide free education, they need to construct schools, buildings, colleges, university. So when they are going to construct that school, buildings, university, they need to purchase different raw materials. They need to construct that building. At the same time, they have to hire the services of teachers. So they are also spending, and they are demanding various goods and services. So we can see that aggregate demand equals to C plus I plus G. Now here you have to understand the meaning of the C, I and G. C is the consumption by household. So when they are consuming, they will demand, okay, they will demand various types of goods and services. So that is also part of this aggregate demand. Now next one, I is the investment expenditure. So when the firm, as I said, when the firms or the producers are willing to invest, so they need to demand various types of goods and services. So that are included in this I. And next one, this G. G is the government expenses. So when the government are going to perform any function, so they need to purchase various types of raw materials, they need to hire the services. So the government is also demanding. So we can say that aggregate demand equals to C plus I plus G. Okay, this is all about the aggregate demand. Now we will move to the aggregate supply. Next one we have aggregate supply. So aggregate supply refers to the total quantity of commodity that all the producers or all the firms are willing to produce and supply in an economy. Okay, so we can say that the total quantity of goods and services that all the firms or producers are willing to produce and supply in an economy. So here, whatever the goods and services that is produced by all the producers or suppliers, okay, or the sellers, and when they are willing to produce and supply it in the market or in an economy, okay, throughout the country, so that concept can be considered as aggregate supply. Okay, so aggregate supply is not only the quantity supplied by an individual, it is the sum of all the individuals when they are supplying the various types of goods and services together. Then we can consider this concept as aggregate supply. Okay, aggregate supply is nothing but the total volume or the total amount of goods and services produced and supplied in an economy by all the firms or producers. So that is the concept of aggregate supply. Now we will move to the next topic, basic economic entities. Next topic we have basic economic entities in an economy. So basic economic entities. So here you have to understand the meaning of economic entities. Okay, economic entities. We know that in an economy, the different individuals, they are engage themselves in a different type of activities, different types of economic activities. As consumers, as households, we are busy in consuming various types of goods and services. At the same time, we are supplying various types of services to the other firms or the producers, or maybe to the government. So according to their capacity, according to their capabilities, the different individuals are taking part in different economic activities. So on the basis of their economic activities, we have classified economic entities into three categories. Number one, we have households. Number two, firms, and number three, the government. Okay. So first, you have to understand what is economic entity. So economic entities, we can define it as an institutional unit which can be capable of taking the economic decision independently. What we can say that? Institutional unit capable of taking economic decisions independently is called an entities. Okay, so an institutional unit capable of taking economic decision independently is called what? Economic entities or entity. Now this entity is classified into three categories. Number one, we have households. Number one, we have households. Number two, we have firms or producers, or suppliers. Number 3, we have a government. Now we will discuss one by one what is their role in an economy, how they are taking the different economic decisions, how they are participating in an economic, in different economic activity. So we will discuss one by one. Now the first one we have households. So how we define household? Households are also a group of people living together and taking the economic decisions jointly. Okay? How we define household? Once again listen. Household refers to a group of people living together and taking the economic decisions jointly. Okay? Here they will take the decision jointly. They will not take independently. Okay? Suppose we have 5 members in our house, then whatever the decision we will take the combined decision and then we'll proceed to our work. Okay, so here that is household. Now, household is one of the important source of supplier of their factor services. We have seen that household are the one who is supplying labor. Okay, they are providing various types of resources in an economy, and that resources will be utilized by the firms, and then they will utilize that services in the production. So here we can say that household are the one who provide various types of services as well as factors of production to the firms or the production unit, and this production unit will utilize that. Okay, they will utilize that, they will use that factors of production and produce. And whatever the goods and services produced by the firms in an economy, who will demand that various types of goods and services produced by that firms or household? That firms household. Okay, household. Once again, please listen carefully. Here, whatever the goods and services that will be produced by these firms, household are the one who demand various types of goods and services in an economy. And the second thing, household are the one who provide various resources resources for the production. Resources means here different factors of production. Land, labor, capital, these all are supplied by these households in an economy, and with the help of that different factors of production, the producers will utilize and produce various types of goods and services. So that was the role of household. Now we will move to the firms or the producers. Okay, so next one we have firms. Who are firms or producers? Firms or producers are the one who combine different factors of production and produce various types of goods and services in an economy for profit motive. So firms are the one who goods and services with the help of different factors of production. So here what the firms are doing, firms are using or utilizing the various factors of production that is supplied by household. That factors of production may be land, labor, capital. So that will be utilized by the firm and produce various types of goods and services. And after production, that various types of goods and services will be supplied in an economy. And who will purchase that? Either the household will purchase that, or government will purchase that goods and services. So that is the important about these forms of the producers. Now next one we have government. So what is the role of government? Government is the one who maintains the law, rules and regulation in the country and provides safety to the people, okay, as well as to the producers. So government is the one who is responsible for maintaining law and order and provides security to their people, to their different entities, to the household also as well as to the firms also. The government is providing safety, security, and they are the legal authority. Okay, that government may be central government, state government, and local government. So different type of government, state, central, local, they have their different functions, and they are performing their different functions for the betterment of an economy. Now, next thing, government, we have seen that government are the one, they impose different types of taxes on the production of various types of goods and services. So, government impose some type of taxes also, as well as government provide in our country, government provides some various services to the people at free of cost. We have seen that government facility, whether it is government hospital, government school, college, university, we have seen that the government is providing free education. So here, one side the government is collecting some revenue from tax and non-tax sources. On the other side, the government is spending money for the betterment of an economy, for providing different types of services to the poor people. Okay. Now, we have seen that the government is also responsible for constructing roads, bridges, okay, dams. So all this responsibility is taken by the government. So these all are the role of different economic entities. Now next, we will move to the next topic. We have stock and flow variables. Stock and flow variable. So first you have to understand the stock variable. Variable means the which value changes over certain period of time. Okay, the value is not fixed. The value keeps changing. Okay, variable. We studied mathematics x, y, z. So we consider x, y as a variable because we don't know the exact value of that x and y. So after calculation, after solving the problem, only we will come to know the value of x. So that is variable. Okay. Now here you have to understand the difference between stock and flow. Okay, stock and flow variable. So stock means quantity that is measured at a point of time. Okay, the quantity or anything that measured quantity or anything measured at a point of time, okay, at one point of time. Whatever we are measuring, that doesn't matter, but if we are measuring at one point of time, then that concept is called stock. Suppose say this stock can be measured at the beginning, okay, at the beginning of the year or maybe at the end of the year. Suppose say I am considering 1st January, bank account deposit, okay, bank account deposit on 1st January. So whatever the deposit we have on this 1st Jan, okay, that will be our stock, okay, stock. So but if Suppose say this bank account, whatever we have deposit in our account, we can withdraw also, or we can add more savings with the bank account also. So when we are adding that savings, or when we withdraw some money, we are doing it. Okay, we are doing it. Sometimes we withdraw whenever we need some money, maybe at the end of month. So we can say that this flow variable is the quantity or anything that measure over period of time or interval of time. So first you please understand this concept, then I will explain both the concept together. So this the quantity or anything that measure over period of time or interval of time. Okay, like savings that vary over period of time. Okay, that changes over period of time. Time means here maybe for 1 week, maybe for 1 month, maybe for 1 day, maybe for 1 hour, maybe for 24 hours, maybe for 1 year. So here whatever the variable that keeps changing over period of time, that is called what? Flow variable. Okay. Now let's come to this point. So as I said, the total deposit in my account at 1st Jan. Okay. So we are measuring the deposit. Okay, so when we are talking about the total deposit on 1st January, suppose say 2019. Now, so whatever deposit we have, that will be our stock. Okay, that will be our stock. But when we add some savings or when we withdraw money, so that this total deposit will change. Okay, total deposit will change. So when we include savings or withdraw or money, then that concept will become flow, because that changes over period of time. We may withdraw more than 5 times in a month. We may withdraw more than 10 times in a year, more than 20 times in a year. So what is happening here? With a certain interval of time, this bank account deposit is changing. Maybe savings also changes. It is not necessary that every month or every time savings will be same. So savings may change. Sometimes savings may be more. Next month savings may be less. Next month saving may be more less than the previous one. So when anything changes over period of time or interval of time, we can consider that one as flow. So saving, investment, okay, investment, etc. is a flow variable because that keeps changing over period of time. Now next, consider suppose say distance. I'll give you one more example to clear your concept regarding this stock and flow. Suppose say distance. Distance between suppose say Parking to Gangtok. Okay. Suppose say distance between Parking to Gangtok is suppose say 18 kilometer. So that 18 kilometer will remain same. But if you are going from Parking to Gangtok or from Gangtok to Parking, speed, okay, speed can be changed. No? Maybe first 10 minutes you can drive at the speed of 60 km per hour. Maybe next 10 kilometer you can drive at the speed of maybe 20 km or 10 km. So here speed is a flow variable, whereas this distance is a stock variable. So that remain constant, okay, over time. But this speed, investment, saving, national income, GDP, export, imports, these all are the flow variable. So what we can say that stock has no time dimension. Okay, stock has no time dimension, whereas this flow has time Dilution. So this is the difference between stock and flow. Okay, stock means, once again listen, stock means anything that changes at a point of time. At a point of time. So there is a difference between at a point of time, over period of time, or interval of time. Okay, so stock means the quantity that measure at a point of time, whereas flow is a quantity or anything that measured over period of time or over interval of time. Okay, interval of time. Interval of time means maybe after certain time period it keeps changing. So that will be a flow concept. Okay, example I have given. Distance can be considered as a stock variable, whereas speed can be considered as a flow variable. That speed can be increased, also can be decreased over certain time period, but that distance may remain same. I have given another example also. Stock means, some say bank account, and stock may be measured at the beginning or at the end of year. We can take one more example here. Stock, a wealth. Whatever wealth you have, okay, either you will measure at the beginning of year or at the end of year. Okay, so wealth can be considered as a stock concept. So this is the end of the chapter. Next day we will start next chapter.